Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves really well and you're having an awesome day. I know we are. we just had a nice little breakfast and I'm going to eat the rest of my food after this video because I just want to take my time and really enjoy it, you know. But anyways, so this video is going to be about how the devil tries to take advantage of the unconscious, unaware, chosen ones, okay? So, as you guys know, chosen ones naturally have a lot of power. They yield a lot of authority, right? Or they due to their inner qualities and due to their heart, right, they're naturally influential. They have a really powerful and almost strange energy about them. And, because of that energy, because of that inner strength that they naturally possess and that perhaps they've even developed over time, the devil usually wants to take advantage of that. He knows that they're extremely powerful and he knows that they're going to be a huge threat to his kingdom. And so because of that, he will kind of, he will try to take advantage, or he will try to use them without them realizing who they are first. Okay, so in the beginning, right, when we were first born, right, most of us didn't know who we were, right? We didn't know how powerful we are. And because of that, a lot of people try to take advantage of that, right? And especially the people in the industry, and that's actually this actually relates. So this video will relate to a lot of celebrities, right? Because a lot, guys, believe it or not, a lot of celebrities are the chosen ones, okay? And once again, the devil knew how influential they are naturally, right? And so people naturally want to follow them. And so because he knew how much of a threat they're going to be, he wanted to get them to his side, on his side, right? He wanted to get them on his side so he could use them, to do his bidding instead of the other way around, right? But little did he know that at some point we almost had this kind of a flip button, right? Or a switch button, basically, whereas we would wake up, right? Eventually, sooner or later, all the chosen ones would wake up, right? And perhaps he didn't think that, perhaps he thought that money, right, and contracts would be enough to stop us, but it's not, okay? Because in the grander scheme of things, right, the chosen ones do not care about the money as much as they care about their overall mission here on Earth, okay, on this planet, okay? So once awakened, they become these unstoppable soldiers of God that honestly cannot be stopped with anything, okay? No amount of money will hold them back, basically, okay? And they're not going to sell their soul because they know who they are. They know what they came here to do, right? So the devil will try to get them in their unconscious state where they're still very much in their ego, and they're like everyone else, right? They're still operating from their ego, and maybe they want, they still very much care about the money and status, right? And so in most cases, in a lot of cases, he's going to try to get them in that state, okay? And he's going to try to keep them there. But lo and behold, right, in most cases, when, once again, the chosen ones have this time when sooner or later they awaken, okay? And when they awaken, there's no stopping them. There's no stopping them, and there's absolutely nothing that the devil can do to stop them, okay? No amount of money, no amount of contracts, like I said before, right, is going to stop them, okay, from trying to complete their mission, right? And so there's that, right? And so, guys, this happens very often in the industry, okay? So a lot of chosen ones, right? First of all, the devil is going to try to, a lot of chosen ones, they have to go in order to get into the industry, the Hollywood industry, right? Into the music industry, or, into the movie industry, right? Into the modeling industry. A lot of the chosen ones had to undergo a lot of humiliation rituals, right? And things like that, okay? And so, once again, a lot of them signed the deal with the devil, right? And once again, they were unaware of what they were doing. Okay, perhaps they were, perhaps they were too young, so the devil tries to get them when you're still very young, right? And because a lot of chosen ones don't have, a good backup system behind them, right? Or a good family behind them that would protect them, such is the case in, like, for example, with the Justin Bieber, right? Unfortunately, Justin Bieber was way too young, right? When he got into the industry, and he got tricked, right? And he got kind of scammed almost, right? And so he felt the pressure to do things that were just atrocious, right? They were just disgusting, and due to that, he got very traumatized, right? And so that's exactly what the devil wants to do. He wants to get you, traumatize you in that industry, okay? And then keep you there, okay? While, like while basically, keeping you in fear, right? Keeping you as stuck, basically, right? He wants you to stay silent and to not say anything. And that's exactly what happened to Justin Bieber, right? And is that he was traumatized, and then he was kept in fear, right? They kept him in fear, and they tried to keep him silent, and they didn't want him to speak out about any of this, right? Abuse that happened, and all the other stuff that happened to him in the industry, or really he couldn't speak out about any of the people that participated and things like that, right? And so, yeah, and so that's exactly what the devil wants to do, right? He wants to use that. He wants to use the chosen ones, and I'm not saying that everyone in the industry is a chosen one. They're not, but a lot of them are, okay? And that's exactly what happened, okay? They were caught off guard when they were young, okay? They were traumatized, okay? And then they were kind of locked, right, in a cage, okay? Locked with money, with power, and locked mentally too, okay? So a lot of them were trapped mentally, okay? And they felt isolated, they felt alone, right? Because they didn't have a good support system. They probably couldn't even speak to anyone about what happened, and they didn't have anyone that they could trust, that they could share this information with, right? And so, anyway, so yeah, this is exactly what happens, okay? The devil wants to use the chosen ones in order to influence everyone else, right? Because they naturally have a lot of influence, and because also, because he wants to mock God. The chosen ones are God's children at the end of the day, okay? And so when he gets when he catches the chosen ones unaware, right, he will kind of, he'll mock God, right, in this way. Like, look, haha, look who I have on my side, right? And, and so that's what happens to a lot of celebrities, okay, guys? But I have a story, okay? I have a story, but first let me get some tea, okay? Strawberry black tea, I love it so much. Oh my god, this is my favorite. Delicious. Yum, yum, yum. Anyway, so back to the chosen ones, and back to the story that I have, okay? So guys, one time, and I told you this before, right? I was also one of those people that had plenty of offers in the modeling industry to do things that I didn't want to do, and I refused every single time. Okay, so I could have been a pretty big model, okay, and probably well known too, okay. But I never, unfortunately, I never got there, okay, because, or fortunately, okay, because but I did get to experience enough of this industry, okay? And also, I have to tell you this before I mention the story, okay? Um, this happened to me after the awakening, okay? So, but however, with that said, right, there are several awakenings that a person can undergo, right? So once you once someone experiences an awakening, okay, it's kind of like sometimes they're still kind of waking up from their sleep. Their eyes are still like, they're still feeling very like kind of, not entirely awake yet, right? So you don't just snap into this completely conscious aware state, right? Right from the start. No, it happens very slowly, okay? And so just because you have awakened doesn't mean that you're fully aware of what's happening in the spiritual realm yet, okay? You might be aware of certain things, but not so much of others, okay? There are still like people can undergo second awakenings and so on, okay? So it's a process, right? And that process sometimes takes years, okay? So this is exactly what happened to me, okay? I woke up, right? And I just kind of, when you spiritually awaken, you basically, you become fearless, even more fearless. If we're already fearless, you just become this unstoppable force. And if your spirit guides you somewhere, you do it, okay? You do it without questioning it, right? You just go for it. You go for the things that make you feel alive, that bring joy to you, right? And you like I said, you become this unstoppable force, okay? And if God or your Holy Spirit tells you to do something, guides you somewhere, you just do it without question, okay? And so, anyways, I basically I was living in San Francisco at the time, right? And so, and I like crazily I decided to go to a casting, okay? My one of my agents sent me a casting, right? And he was like like I had an agency, right? And I had agents too, okay, that I was working with, right? And so my contract didn't prohibit that, right? And so I basically I decided to go to a casting in Las Vegas, okay? And that was crazy because it was such a long drive, right? And but I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do something interesting and exciting, and I wanted to hike the Grand Canyon again, And so I just decided to go to Las Vegas for a casting. I know this is really crazy, and so I just did it, and I went to, I drove, right, and then I ended up going to Grand Canyon, hiking the Angel Trail, I think it's called, right? It was my second time doing it, okay? And it was just so amazing. The road trip was just perfect, okay? It really hit the spot. I got to Las Vegas, it was extremely hot there, okay? And of course, I just went to a casting, right? And guys, just so you know, okay, when you spiritually awaken, you become this unstoppable force, right? Your energy just completely increases, right? You're in another dimension in terms of your frequency, in terms of your energy, right? And so you cannot be unseen. In the spiritual realm, you're very much seen. Even in the physical, you're very much seen, right? And so every casting that I went to in that state, guys, okay? And yeah, I continued to do some modeling work, okay? Because I don't know, just like certain jobs, right? And I was doing hair things, okay? And I probably shouldn't have now that I look back, right? Because your hair relates to your spirituality, right? And your hair is like an antenna, like I mentioned in other videos, right? It's like an antenna. So the longer your hair, the healthier it is, right? The more natural it is, the more intuitive you will be, okay? So always protect your hair. Don't just go to any hairdressers, right? A lot of them can even steal your glory, right? So like, for example, cutting bangs, right? Bangs also block your third eye, right? Supposedly, okay? They basically make you less intuitive, okay? And so, your hair is your power, right? And so I wasn't fully aware of that at that time, even in my awakened state, okay? And so I continued to kind of almost abuse my hair in a way, right? And guess what, guys? Every casting, oh, my earring is falling off. Every casting that I went to, I got picked, okay? And like I said, the reason has nothing to do with being my physical attractiveness, right? There were girls that were just much more physically attractive than I am, right? There were girls, that were extremely beautiful, physically speaking, okay? But my energy was just so high, it was so bright, I was shining like the sun, basically, right? And so every time I would walk into a casting, okay, if you're a model, right, and if you have good energy, if you have had the spiritual awakening, trust me, every casting that you'll go to, you'll get picked, okay? And the reason can also be more sinister than you realize, okay? And that goes back to what I was talking about, right? The devil wants to use you and mock you, okay? And you'll be kind of like, you'll be used to, when it comes down to the spiritual reasoning behind it, right? You'll be mocked, basically. You'll get chosen, yes, but you'll be mocked, okay? And they'll use money, right? They'll pay you, like, good money, okay? But you'll be mocked, basically, okay? And they'll mock God through you, through using you, okay? And of course, because you have a lot of influence, right? You have good energy, you'll influence other people too, okay? And maybe not in a good way, okay? So that's what I realized too, but only much later after this, okay? So like I said, I wasn't fully awake yet, okay? And so I went to Las Vegas, right? First, I went to LA, by the way, right? And that was, I think, before that. I don't remember whether it was before that or after that. But I went to another casting in Los Angeles, right? Hundreds of girls, beautiful girls, right? But the casting director just saw me, he just bypassed all the girls and just like, bam, picked me, you know? And I was like, all right, that's awesome, you know? So I felt good about that, right? Anyway, so same thing happened in Las Vegas, okay? Huge, like, auditorium, right? I walk into this auditorium, right? Tons of girls just sitting there, right? And so it happened again, the same way, right? Once again, the guy just sees me. He's like walking, kind of like looking at the girls. Then he sees me, right? And he just like looks at me and he just like completely bypasses everyone else, just walks up to me, right? Like automatically, and like grabs me, this girl, you know? So I was like, wow, you know? And so once again, I got chosen, right? And the jobs, both jobs were just really well paying, right? Basically, they gave us temporarily, like, hair color, right? And there was one I think was for Canada, right? There was a Canada campaign, okay? And another one that was the one in Las Vegas, okay? And another one was for, and it lasted like 3 days, I think, or 2-3 days, right? And the first one, they pay you to do your hair, right? And then you get to do the show, and then like they do a photo shoot, okay? And like a video shoot, okay? So that's what you do, right? Usually. And so that's how it went, right? And so the one in Las Vegas, yeah, they had a show, right? They had an actual show. And so I noticed something really strange, okay? After they did my hair, right? They ended up, okay, guys, and this is really crazy, okay? And that's how you know that there's a spiritual world out there too, okay? What they did, right, was they literally put my hair and they made two horns on top of my head, guys, okay, with my hair. And I like, and they just started laughing, like they had these evil laughs, you know. And I was like, what? Like, and I at that point, my soul, right, my spirit felt something just wrong, right? And like I said, I wasn't fully awakened yet, right? And so, but I felt that something was wrong, and it's just like I felt humiliated. I felt kind of like, you know, just extremely disgusted also, right? And so, like I said, they made my hair into two devil horns, right? And they were just laughing, like, right? And I was like, I was sitting there and just feeling like really disgusted, right, with all of that. And eventually, you know, this stopped, right? So this was almost like a humiliation ritual that I went through, you know. And so um, and it felt disgusting, it felt wrong, right? And I just wanted to get out of there, honestly, okay? All of this was really demonic, right? And once again, guys, if you look at the things that they're promoting, right, with the hair and everything, right, the things that they're promoting is, you know, like damage your hair, right, color it in all these different colors, right, dry your hair out, all these you know, all these colors, right, all the shampoos, all the conditioners that they're promoting have really, really harsh chemicals for the most part, okay? In the long run, they completely damage your hair. And once again, that all of that makes you less powerful, okay? You lose touch with your intuition, okay? Your antenna is not as good anymore, okay? And so there's that, right? And so, you know, pay attention to that, okay? Never go to hairdressers that, you know, carry demonic spirits, okay? Because once again, it can be a good hairdresser, right? But it can be someone with a demonic spirit and bad intentions, you know, and they can even steal your glory, okay? So and your, you know, do more damage, physically speaking and also spiritually speaking, okay? So be careful with that. And yeah, so this is the story, guys, okay? And you know, once again, be aware of who you're working with, right? And don't just do things for money, right? Because once again, even in the modeling industry, right, even in the especially in the modeling industry, in the entertainment industry, okay, a lot of the things that you will be promoting, okay, if they choose you, okay, they're going to be bad, okay? They're going to be anti-God, okay? And so be careful with that, okay? Even as a God's child, right? And so don't sell your soul, because you have a lot of influence, and it's your responsibility to promote godly things, right? It's your responsibility to be conscious of what you're promoting, and, you know, ultimately how you're influencing people, right? Other people, okay? So there's that, right? And so, yeah, unfortunately, guys, a lot of us, you know, we only realize this later on, okay? We realized how our actions, right, and the things that we chose, wrongly chose, eventually ended up, you know, influencing probably other people, and not in a good way, right? And so sometimes, guys, we very much still do things that are unconscious, right? And because a spiritual awakening doesn't happen immediately, it doesn't wake you up entirely, right from the start. No, it's a process, okay? And it happens over time, and sometimes it takes a long time to kind of see everything, okay? And even then, you probably still have a long ways to go, okay? So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? Let me know if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already, okay? This is my passion, and it would mean the world to me if you support my passion, all right, guys? Feel free to check out my books, feel free to check out my fitness and nutrition courses, and thank you so much for being here with me today, okay?